wallpaper will instantly transform a space. But when it comes to awkward corners and wallpapering around radiators, sockets and switches, it can feel daunting. These tricky spots require a bit of patience, the right tools and a few clever techniques to get a flawless finish. Never wallpaper around an inside corner. Every time you go around a corner, you need to ensure the piece is straight, using a plumb bob or spirit level. Measure the width of the paper from the corner, adding half an inch, 13 millimeters, marking the wall with a pencil mark. This will ensure that your next piece is straight. Hang your piece along the plumb bob into the corner, overlapping where necessary. You will need to apply some paste to the dry paper with a brush. Brush back into the corner and overlap half an inch, 13 millimeters, which has already been carried around. Use a straight edge between the paper and the knife to trim the excess at the skirting and ceiling. Scissors can be used for the corners. Again, make sure you remove any paste immediately on the surface using a clean, damp sponge. With windows and doors, work from the top down. Let the paper hang naturally. Feel for the edges and cut where the frame or sill is. Then make a small relief cut using scissors to help it fold around the corners or around the frame. Then trim the edges using a blade and a straight edge for clean lines, and take your time. Behind radiators, start by wallpapering as normal above the radiator. Obviously, make sure your radiator is switched off. Smooth it down with your hands or a brush, then stop when you reach the top of the radiator. Gently push the paper behind the radiator to find the brackets. Pull the paper out again and cut a section to enable you to feed the paper behind the radiator. Remember to work slowly to avoid tearing. Smooth it down with your hands or a wallpaper brush smoother, going as far down as your tool will allow. Trim off excess paper at the skirting using a straight edge and blade, and clean off any excess paste with a damp sponge. For outside corners, measure so the wallpaper wraps around at least 1 inch, 25 millimeters. This helps it stick and avoids lifting over time. Measure the wallpaper out and mark the side you want to keep, and then cut and discard the side you don't want. Apply paste to the two walls and hang the paper, making cuts at the ceiling and skirting before folding it around the corner. Be very careful when applying wall coverings over, under or around electrical switches, sockets and similar items. Make sure the power is switched off to avoid electric shock. Slightly unscrew the fitting so the wall covering can be tucked just behind its edges. Paste the wall as you would for any other piece, making sure to paste to the edge of the socket. Smooth the wall covering down very gently over the fitting, and for square shapes, pierce the paper and make diagonal cuts from the centre to each corner, feeling for the outline whilst keeping a little extra to tuck behind the fitting. For circular objects such as ceiling centres and light fittings, make a series of cuts producing a star shape. Press down around the outline and trim in the same way. Once you're done, screw the socket back on. Remember to always remove paste from the surface of the paper and the fitting. If you haven't already, then check out our other how-to videos.